that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. Today I'm very excited to check out the Mashin Max game from Hasbro Gaming. This is for 2 to 3 players. Ages 4+, it'll take you about 5 to 10 minutes to play. And in Mashin Max game, you are going to be doing something with the snail, and then Max is going to try and smash you. And you're trying to collect berries, and the rules are kind of confusing, and why am I wearing this hat? Whoa, what is going on? Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what's going to get inside of the Mashin Max game. First and foremost, we're going to handy dandy rule booklet. It's about one big page, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. This is just how to set Max up, so it's actually a very short rule booklet. Now with that being said, there is one rule in here that I feel is broken, aka I don't exactly understand how it works, which is quite impressive considering grand total there's probably like 3 paragraphs here and they still managed to somehow screw it up. Also on the back, you have alternate ways to play for a shorter game and a more advanced game, which is always a nice thing when they include that. So in Mashin Max, you are going to get big old Max here. He is 3D. You're going to have to put him together, put his feet on, put his hands on, and he is going to go around the board and he is going to smash things. Smash! And you're trying to make it so that he does not smash your character. How do you do that? Well, it's all completely random. But it is a kid's game, so we can let that slide. So we'll go over the components, then we'll get a little bit into the gameplay. So, component-wise, you got these berries. These are what you're going to be trying to collect. These are, for all intents and purposes, victory points. If you have the most of these, you are going to be the winner of the game. Also, you're going to have your 3 little characters. They got this guy, he's a little hedgehog. We got the little turtle here, and these are really nicely sculpted little minis, as you can see. And then, of course, you have the blue bunny, which I just dropped. This blue bunny right here. You're going to have 3 of these. They're going to start on your stump right here, and there will be a special spot on these stumps where they can start. Also, the stumps do come off the board, as you might have saw a little bit earlier, to help you fit it back into the box, even though you will still have a bear of a time fitting it back into the box. But we'll talk more about that in the pros and the cons. So, we got our game set up. We'll just say it's a 2-player game. We got yellow, we got green. What's going to happen is on the first turn, what you're going to do is you're going to take back the snail. Why is it a snail? I have no idea why it's a snail, but it's a snail. You're going to take back the snail, pull it back, and we're going to see where... Max goes. You're gonna put Max's arm up first, and then you're gonna do it, and then Max will smash something. So let's see what he smashed. He smashed a 2, which means we're going to be able to move our character 2 spaces. We start here, we go 1, 2. We put our little guy right there, and we're gonna collect, hooray, 4 berries. Now, this is the part of the game that seems a little bit broken, and I'm going to refer to the rule booklet for you so you can figure it out. So it says right here, what you're going to be doing is you're going to put all 4 of these into your stump. They are victory points. However, the game also says that you can lose these victory points if you get smashed. But how this works is if you have more than, say 1 guy on the board, if this guy gets smashed right here, he only loses the victory points that he has collected. So you're supposed to remember specifically how much each of these guys have collected or something. I don't know. It seems really tedious, and you're going to make up your own house rule on how you want to do it. So I just wanted to warn you about that. But anywho, so that was our turn. Now we'll take the green guy's turn. We'll go through a couple turns. You go around, we smash something. He's going to move 3 spaces, so he'd go 1, 2, 3. He collects 3 berries. Good for him. Let's see if we can get one of these money shots where one of the guys gets smashed. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So now we pick up his arm, and oh no, we've lost him. He's dead. So he is supposed to lose all of his berries, which at this point is actually easy to figure out because there's only 4 left. So he would put 4 berries back. He loses this piece because it is a player elimination game, and then we would continue on our merry way. So the next character would get to move 4 spaces, get 2 berries because he'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, land on the 2 over here, put him here, and rinse, wash, and repeat. So a couple things I do want to mention. You can have more than 1 of your guys out at a time. You can have up to 3, but it says be wary because if that happens, then your guys have a higher percentage chance of getting smashed. But here's the thing. The game ends when all 3 of a player's critters get smashed, or when the berry pile is completely run out. And if all 3 of your characters get smashed, then you should have 0 berries because you lose all the berries that your critter gets, and my brain is hurting. So yeah, you go until all the berries are gone, until somebody gets eliminated from the game by getting all their pieces smashed, at which point you count up how many berries are left, and that player, or how many berries you have left in your stump, whoever's the most berries in their stump is the winner of the game, and that in a nutshell is how Mashin Max is played. Alrighty then, the Mashin Max game from Hasbro Gaming. What are my final thoughts? Let's go with the pros, let's go with the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a couple of different reasons. It's a very, very young children's game. If you have kids that are, say, 6 plus, you're going to want to steer clear of this game. It's just way too simplistic, even with the advanced version of the game. Also, very restricted player count. 2 to 3 players? Are you kidding me? Yeah, incredibly restricted player count, which is a shame. Also, if you're one of those people who displays their boxes, you are not going to be able to get this box closed with Mashin Max in there. I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and there's no good way to fit all of this dude into this box, which is annoying. Especially considering I know at one point he did fit in the box, and now he just will not. Rules-wise, that one rule is very confusing, and you will immediately try and house rule it when you try and read it, because it will frustrate you. Because, as I mentioned in the middle part, if one of your characters gets smashed, then that character's out of the game, and they also lose all the berries that they have collected. But if you have more than one character on the board, that can get confusing, because let's just say you have all 3 of your characters on the board, and one has collected 2, and one has collected 6, and one has collected 3. You're supposed to remember which one of those characters has collected 2, 6, and 3. So in the scenario in which they get smashed, you take exactly that many berries, which is what? That's dumb. That's stupid. Figure out a better way to do it. Come on, Hasbro. You can't just get by because you got a really cool, 3D Mashin Max here. I know that's what they did. Somebody was writing the rules of this, and they said, Tom, that doesn't make any sense. And they were like, Phil, you shut your mouth. We got a giant 3D smashing Godzilla-looking thing. We don't need good rules, Tom. And yeah, so that was frustrating. The rules themselves could be a little bit better. Any other cons I have with it? Restricted player count, very simple game. No, moving on to the pros. When reviewing a game like this, you have to look at the audience. And I am not the audience for this game. The audience for this game is my son and the kids in my class, and they freaking love this game. They think it looks cool. They like pulling back the snail, even though the snail doesn't make any sense at all. Why is it a snail? And they like when people get smashed. They think it's fun, they think it's funny, and with house rules, it's not that terrible a game. It's going to help very young children improve their counting skills and, the one-to-one correspondence as they have to move and then collect 1, 2, 3 berries and put the 3 berries here. And what we did is we had 3 separate piles of berries, so when you got smashed, you would have to take that pile of berries and get rid of it. So, overall on the pro side, it looks cool aesthetic. It's aesthetically pleasing. You look at this guy and you're like, man, that really does look freaking cool. Oh, one more comment I forgot to mention. Sometimes the snail doesn't work as well as you would like it to, but that is, it doesn't happen too terribly often. But also on the pro side, kids are going to have fun with this. And that's the main thing. You have young kids aged 2, very close to 3 to 5. I think they're going to enjoy this game. Once they get past 5 years old, you're going to want to find a different game. But if you routinely play with young children and you only play with less than 3 players, Mashin Max is not a bad game to check out. So that is the Mashin Max game from Hasbro. I begrudgingly can recommend it if you have kids that are this young. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know who is your least favorite superhero. For me personally, it probably is Superman. He's just too dang overpowered. He's just not a fun character. Now, when I was a kid, I used to love Superman, but now that I'm getting older and I really like nuanced characters for my superheroes, Superman's just too powerful. He's got laser eyes, and he's got freeze breath, and he can turn back time like, Gloria Estefan. No. If I could turn back time. Cher. He can turn back time like Cher, except Cher's not a superhero. Cher would be a good superhero if she could just turn back time. If that was the only thing she had, along with an amazing voice and a very nice-looking 7-year-old body. And we are completely off the topic here. But let me know in the comments below who's your least favorite superhero. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.